Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Sunstone, and today I'm going to be sharing 10 things I wish I knew sooner when playing Coral Island. Please keep in mind that this is an early access title with many updates on the horizon, so what I've noted in today's video is technically subject to change. However, I believe many of these things will stick around and still apply as the game develops, so I think this video will be super helpful for your first time playing Coral Island. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Number one is something very simple that I very much missed, and it is that you can actually display and track your quest progress right on your HUD. So you don't have to keep opening and closing your quest tab to check where you're at with the projects you have on the go. It can always be on display right in front of your eyes. To do this, simply go to your game settings and enable Display Quest HUD. And there you go. Now you can always keep track of up to 2 quests at a time without the hassle, which can be super helpful since there is so much to do in this amazing game and so much to keep track of. Number 2 is that most of the shops around town actually all have functional open and closed signs. So if you're passing by, you actually don't have to spend any time walking up to the door and checking if they're open. You also don't have to pull out your map and check the official store hours. All you have to do is glance at the sign in passing and it will tell you if the shop is open or not. This can save you so much time in the long run and is a super convenient feature. Number 3 is that you can actually find clues to help you figure out how to unlock new fast travel points, which are these shrines around the map of Coral Island. You will need to complete a series of mysterious quests, which are first triggered by a dream you will have after you save your game on the night of Spring Day 6. I won't give any major spoilers for this questline, but at a certain point, you will unlock the ability to read a new language. So once you have this ability, you can actually go around to these shrines and examine them. Each one has its own riddle, which will hint at what you need to do to unlock it for fast travel. I wish I knew this sooner because I was neglecting certain tasks and gameplay mechanics in the early game, which ultimately helped me unlock some of the most useful travel points later on, like this one here, right across from the blacksmiths. And just as a reminder, you must complete the first temple offering at the lake to gain fast travel abilities and begin unlocking new shrines. Number 4 is that I wish I knew to buy an ordinary Scarecrow from Ben's caravan as early as possible in game. In early game, I started off by crafting the makeshift Scarecrow, which is simple to do and does cover a decent area. However, for me, it makes for a bit of a messy layout on my farm, and you end up having to craft multiple of these scarecrows to cover the seeds you plant. I was waiting around to unlock the recipe for the ordinary scarecrow, instead of just taking matters into my own hands and purchasing one. If you go to Ben's caravan on the weekends, which is located here on the map, he seems to always be selling these ordinary scarecrows. They're relatively affordable, available from the very beginning, and really worth the purchase. I mean, just look at the area it covers. This can help make planting tons of crops in a nice layout much easier with all the space to work with. And of course, will also protect your produce from the pesky crows. And speaking of crops, number 5 is that I wish I knew that the Crop Express Mastery skill will make the growth cycles of your crops completely uncoordinated. If you don't care for aesthetics, this may be no big deal to you, and in fact, you might actually love this perk because it will give you produce quicker. For me, it drives me insane because I want all of my crops that I planted at the same time to grow in at the same time, and I want to harvest them all on the same day. So if I could go back in time, I would not redeem my points on the skill tree for this perk because the way my crops now grow in really bothers me. But again, this might be awesome for you, so just be aware of how the Crop Express Mastery skill will impact both the look and the function of your farm before ultimately making the decision that is best for you. Number 6 is you would not believe how long it took me to discover that you can harvest your crops with your scythe. I wish I knew this sooner. With this method, all you have to do is equip your scythe, swing away, and enjoy a nice and easy harvest. No more picking your crops one by one. And don't worry, the scythe will not damage anything you've planted, so go crazy. Number 7 is that I wish I knew that you could not vault over gates in Coral Island, because I crafted a bunch of gates for my ranching area out of scrap, thinking that I would use them, only to realize that I would very much prefer to exclusively vault the fences in style. And you can't vault over gates, so having gates in the way can actually cause more of an issue, for me at least, than what they do to help. If you enjoy fence vaulting, I would suggest to only craft or purchase gates if you really like the look of them or are actually going to use them as intended. Otherwise, just save your materials and your money and hop on over the fences. Number 8 is that it actually costs 2,000 coins to move your farm buildings, which I wish I knew sooner, because I ended up placing both my coop and my barn somewhere on my farm where I didn't really want them, but I thought it would be easy to move them later on. Don't make the same mistake. Really take your time with deciding where you want to place your farm buildings, at least for your early game. 2,000 coins may be very little a couple years into the game, but in that first year, you need your money for so many things. So try your best to place your farm buildings just how you'd like them from the jump. Number 9 is that I wish I knew that you can actually clear the large pieces of debris from your farmland without upgrading your tools. One of the reasons I placed my farm buildings where I did, along with many other design choices I made, was because of large debris cluttering other areas of my land, like boulders, stumps, and logs. However, there is a trick to getting rid of all of this debris without upgrading your tools. All you have to do is craft some explosives. Yes, explosives, which you will unlock when you level up your mining skills. And boom, it's all taken care of, and you can design the farm of your dreams with no restrictions on where you can place anything. Just be careful with this one, be mindful of where you place it, don't put it next to your crops, and make sure you are outside of the range before it goes off, or your character is going to take some damage. So keep that in mind, use it responsibly, but use it to clear those large pieces of debris so that you can design exactly how you want to, and you can avoid having to move things around later and spending money unnecessarily. And of all the things I've noted today, number 10 definitely takes the cake for what I wish I knew sooner. And that is, if you have not upgraded your town rank to a C rating by the winter season, you will have no access to any seed supply at Sam's. Let me say that one more time. You will have zero access to any seed supply at Sam's. There is, however, a way to get around this, and that is by saving up your wild seeds from previous seasons to be planted in the winter. These seeds will grow you tea leaves, which you can further process into green tea with your keg. And it's a great way to earn money in the winter season. So definitely save your wild seeds for the winter when the seed stock is either limited if you're at a C rank or completely non-existent if you're not. Well, there you have it, friends. Those were 10 things that I wish I knew sooner when playing Coral Island. I hope that you can learn from my many hours of playing Coral Island and implement some of these tips into your own gameplay and your own Coral Island experience. Definitely be sure to let me know in the comments if you learned anything new today. I will just make a special request to do your best to avoid sharing any spoilers in the comments, as these videos are intended for people who are going to be experiencing the game for the first time, and I really want to keep content as spoiler-free as possible for the time being while the game is still very new and many people have yet to play it. So I appreciate that very much in advance. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and until next time, take care. And a very special thanks to Mandy, Meredith, Formotus, Tansy, Cisco, Tier, Quinn, Sky, Whale, Cheese, Coons, Divine Raven, and Lex, my Sunstone members. I love you all, and thank you so much for your support. It really helps to make all of this possible and means the world to me.